With the US-Israel war on Iran raging on for the 8th day, China has condemned the ongoing conflict, urging all parties to resolve differences through equal dialogue and strive to achieve common security. During a press conference in Beijing, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said that the war in West Asia should have never happened, while adding that the world cannot return to the law of the jungle.
As the Middle East descends into war, I must say this is a war that should never have happened, and a war that benefits no one involved.
Wang Yi also said that people cannot become victims of war. The Chinese foreign minister added that using force at every turn cannot prove one's own strength.
Force must not be abused. A strong fist does not mean strong reason. The world cannot return to the law of the jungle. Using force at every turn can't prove one's own strength, and the people cannot become innocent victims of war.
Wang Yi further stated that force must not be abused. He also added that Beijing has always advocated for peace and cooperation. The Chinese foreign minister also urged all parties to return to the negotiating table.
As a sincere friend and strategic partner of Middle Eastern countries, China is willing to work with them to implement global security initiatives, restore order to the Middle East, tranquility to its people, and peace to the world. Thank you.
Wang Yi also called for stronger ties between India and China. The Chinese foreign minister said that both Beijing and New Delhi must view each other as partners and not rivals. He also added both nations must follow the directions set by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping. Mr. Asutosh Patnaik is a United Nations diplomat and special envoy. He's now joining us live from New Delhi. Patnaik, thank you very much for your time and welcome to WION World is One. After the United States said that it was given permission to India to buy Russian oil that is on ships already floating on waterways with a view to easing supplies around the world amid the West Asia conflict, President Trump said that the move was aimed at taking a little pressure off. So how do you react to this, especially when it comes to India's energy sovereignty?
Well, thank you very much for having me back. Well, as you can understand, that United States has already understood that they cannot have a lot of enemies. They cannot have a lot of bad strategies when it comes to their foreign policies. India is obviously a very important ally, a very important counterpart for United States in the Indian Ocean. Americans need India for their geographical benefits. At the same time, it is a very integral part of their foreign policy in this region. So when it comes to energy consumption, obviously, as you know, US and India had their own conflicts when it comes to buying Russian fuel. And as you can see, the situation, what is rising in West Asia, I think it is eminent for United States to understand that India has its own energy consumption and India must survive this particular situation. So I believe when it comes to Americans, they don't have any other option than coming to this point where they accept. They will not use the word accept, but they continue to understand that India needs to source their energy requirements from Russia.
Patnaik, let me ask you about the wording by the US Treasury, because Besant said clearly, and I will quote him, he says, "We have given India the permission to import oil from Russia." The wording, permission, we've allowed India to import oil from Russia. What does that say?
Well, that's a very, I must use this word, quote unquote, that it's a hypocrisy which the United States has used from a very long time, where they think that they influence the global politics, they influence the Asian Peninsula. They influence this particular region when it comes to their dollar dominance, or when it comes to their tariffs, which President Trump had recently declared the 10% global tariff. They do believe that the world cannot sustain without United States, especially they think that India cannot sustain without United States. So they have that understanding that they permit any country to do what they want to do. But I believe when it comes to India, when it comes to this region, I believe they need to again understand that this is not a past. This is evolving Asia and evolving India. So they need to particularly understand that this is not how it works over here.
Mr. Patnaik, finally, we saw what happened in Sri Lanka and efforts made by Sri Lankan Navy to rescue sailors. Critics say the war is slowly sipping into the Indian Ocean, which according to Sri Lanka's opposition leader is a zone of peace. What role can Asian countries, including India, play in this conflict, if any?
Well, I do believe India can steer the way out of this particular crisis when it comes to giving all the parties a negotiating ground, because India has a very good dialogue when it comes to Iran, Israel, and other eminent parties, including United States in this particular issue. So India can be a ground of a country where they can mediate this particular issue to a potential ceasefire or an understanding of such a manner that this issue is not evolving the way it has evolved. I will never say that it will completely eradicate. It's too early to say that, but I believe to de-escalate, rather, I would mention. Apart from that, obviously, when it comes to economic protection of the vessels and of the trades which are being affected because of this particular issue. Even UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres recently reaffirmed that the way the situation is going, the world might go into a global recession if things goes like this. It might come into a very unstable economic rift around the world. So I do believe that India can play its own role at its own pace, at its own decision on how to see this matter and how they can contribute to de-escalate the situation.
All right, Mr. Asutosh Patnaik is a United Nations diplomat. Patnaik, thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today.